Hello, everyone. Are you ready for a story that's full of old secrets, hidden clues, and a love that fought through many hard times? Get ready, because today we're sharing a great story perfect for anyone who likes puzzles and a little romance. Imagine an old hidden garden, a strange letter, and a secret that has been waiting for years to be found. Our story begins with a smart young woman who loves history and old buildings. She is about to find something that will change her life and show her that true love can appear in surprising places. This is more than just a story. It's like a game, a trip through time, and an exciting adventure. Will our main character solve the mystery? Will she find the truth behind the old whispers? Let's find out. The Puzzle of Elara's Rose. Elara was a bright young woman who loved old buildings and their pasts. She lived in a busy apartment in London. Her home was full of building plans, history books, and the smell of tea. Her best friend, Leo, was a clever writer. He liked to make jokes but was always there for Elara. They had been friends for a long time. Everyone thought they would become a couple, but their friendship felt like an old warm blanket, comfy but without any big excitement. One windy October morning, Elara got a strange letter. It was on thick, old paper, sealed with red wax. The writing was fancy and the stamp was very old. Her heart felt a little jump. Inside, among some dry, broken rose petals, was a single old rose and a riddle written in old, faded ink. Where quiet sounds softly sleep, a promise made, secrets to keep. Find the old stone with a hidden heart, where love's last breath was pulled apart. Leo, who didn't believe in mysteries, said it was a joke, maybe for a new game, but Elara, who loved old things, felt a strong pull to the mystery. The letter smelled a little like sweet jasmine. This smell reminded her of an old, empty house on the edge of London. People in town told stories about Seraphina's retreat, a place that had been a mystery since its owner disappeared many years ago. Leo warned her about ghosts and trouble, but Elara's love for history was too strong. She talked him into going with her. They took flashlights. The old house looked dark against the sky. Its big garden was now wild, full of thorny bushes and dying flowers. But even so, it looked strangely pretty. As they walked deeper, Elara saw it, an old sundial almost covered by thick green leaves. She slowly cleaned off the leaves and found another message cut into the stone. The winding path, though dark and deep, a lover's promise forever to keep. This was not a joke. It felt very real, like a secret message from the past. Over the next few weeks, more strange letters arrived. Each one had a new hard clue and a different dried flower. They led Elara and Leo on an exciting, sometimes scary hunt around London. They found a hidden archway in an old church where a small, old silver locket was buried. They found a secret spot in a museum behind an old curtain where a faded painting of a beautiful woman with sad eyes was hidden. They found a strange message on an old monument in a quiet graveyard pointing to a special, unmarked grave. With each new discovery, parts of a sad, strong love story slowly came out. It was the story of Seraphina, a brave and strong woman from a rich family, and Arthur, a smart but poor scholar. Their love was a secret and dangerous game. Seraphina's family had planned for her to marry Lord Alistair Blackwood, a powerful and cold man. Arthur and Seraphina's only hope was to run away, a risky plan to disappear and start a new life far from London. As Elara and Leo followed the clues of this old love story, their own friendship started to change. Leo, who first thought Elara's history game was funny, became more and more interested in the human story. He saw how much Elara cared, how well she understood the old lovers, and how she seemed to connect with the past. Elara, in turn, started to trust Leo's quick thinking and his good ideas. She saw past his jokes to his true care and his quiet way of protecting her. The easy feeling of their friendship began to spark with a new, exciting feeling. The mystery grew with each new clue. The letters became more urgent, hinting that someone had told their secret and that there was danger. One envelope had a torn piece of silk with the Blackwood family sign on it and a chilling sentence, "Danger hides where you trust." Had their escape plan been found out? What happened to them? The fear for Seraphina and Arthur, even though they lived long ago, felt very real to Elara. Then came the last, most surprising clue. A small wooden box, barely bigger than a matchbox, arrived with no letter, just a single red feather. On its side was a tiny, almost invisible carving, the Watcher's Eye. This was the same sign that was in a dark part of the faded painting of Seraphina. It pointed straight back to Seraphina's retreat, to a special hidden part of the garden. People said this area was haunted by the Watcher, a ghost who guarded dark secrets. With the box and a growing feeling of worry, Elara and Leo went back to the estate. The air felt heavy, full of old, unsaid stories. The wooden box led them to an old, broken tomb, hidden behind some thick, old trees. The Watcher's Eye sign was carved above the heavy, iron door. Elara's heart beat fast. What dark secret was inside? With a loud, spooky sound, they managed to open the heavy door. Inside, it was cold and wet. In the middle of the room, lit by a single beam of moonlight coming through a crack in the ceiling, stood a beautifully carved stone coffin. On its lid were the names, Arthur, Seraphina. A wave of deep sadness washed over Elara. So, their love story didn't have a happy ending. They hadn't escaped. They had died here, together, their dreams broken. But the mystery of the letters, the riddles, who had sent them? Leo, who always noticed things, saw a loose stone in the floor near the coffin. With a push, he pulled it away, showing a hidden space. Inside were many journals, not Seraphina's, but Arthur's. His neat, clear handwriting filled page after page. He wrote about their desperate plan to escape, the scary moment they realized they were being watched, and the terrible betrayal by someone they trusted completely, Seraphina's own brother. He was jealous and told Lord Blackwood, who then found them at Seraphina's retreat. The journal described their last moments, trapped in the tomb. They chose to die together rather than be separated, but then a shocking twist. The last page, written with a shaky hand, described not their deaths, but a clever trick. They had pretended to die, helped by an old, faithful servant. The bodies placed in the coffin were not theirs, but those of two unlucky people who had died in a local fire. Arthur and Seraphina had, against all odds, truly escaped. They had disappeared, not by dying, but into a new, secret life, far away. The letters Elara had been getting were not from a ghost or a random person. They were a carefully planned treasure hunt made by Seraphina herself when she was old. It was a sign of her lasting love for Arthur, a final, clever game to keep their amazing story alive for someone special to find. The red feather was a sign of their freedom, shed when they flew away to their new life. The Watcher's Eye was not a sign of danger, but a clever trick. It showed that they were watched, but in the end, they outsmarted those who were chasing them. Tucked into the very last page of Arthur's journal was a small, pretty painting. It showed a bright, sunny little house surrounded by many blooming roses in the green hills of Italy. And standing outside, an old, smiling couple, their faces showing their age, but their eyes shining with clear love. It was Arthur and Seraphina, living their quiet, happy life, a life they had fought so hard to win. Below the painting, a simple message. To the heart that truly searches, the greatest love story is still waiting to be written. Elara and Leo looked at each other. The cold of the tomb was forgotten in the warmth of this amazing news. The suspense, the mystery, the almost terrible sadness had turned into a deep feeling of hope and wonder. The air between them, once just friendly, now felt exciting. Leo reached out, his hand gently finding Elara's in the dim light. "Elara," he said, his voice a little soft, "I came here thinking I'd get a good story for my job, but this is more than just a story." Elara's heart felt light. She squeezed his hand. "It is, isn't it, Leo? It's proof of what love can get through." He squeezed her hand back, and what it can start, too. His eyes, usually kept hidden, showed a kindness she hadn't seen before. I think this trip has shown me that sometimes the biggest adventures and the biggest loves are right next to you, just waiting to be truly seen." A soft, unsure smile came to Elara's face. "Maybe you're right, Leo. Maybe they are." As they walked out of the tomb, the moon had come up, making Seraphina's retreat shine with silver light. The place no longer felt scary, but instead filled with the sounds of a strong, winning love. The secret of Arthur and Seraphina's escape, their bravery, and their lasting happiness had lit up something wonderfully beautiful between Elara and Leo. The search for an old mystery had led them not just to a solved puzzle, but to the surprising start of their own love story, a tale as detailed and powerful as the one they had just found. They walked hand in hand out of the estate, their future looking bright, full of the promise of their own adventures, their own secrets to keep, and their own love story to write. Don't miss out. And that's the end of The Puzzle of Elara's Rose. What an amazing journey, right? I hope you enjoyed this story of love, mystery, and finding things as much as I did telling it. If you loved this story and want to hear more exciting tales, please subscribe to MindTales right now. Don't forget to hit that like button on this video to show your support. Your likes and subscriptions help us bring you more fantastic stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next MindTales video.